All right, so I'm sitting here writing really early. I just finally kicked my husband out of the house. Oops, my cat's purring and sniffing the mic. This is how we roll in the morning. Um, and I'm always trying to keep him from stepping on the keyboard. But he's so fluffy and wonderful. His name is Theo. And actually, Evie's always with us too. And sometimes she'll lay across my shoulders behind my head. And the rest of them are around. But anyway, all right, I digress. So I actually was having all these interesting dreams, but I woke up not with ideas for the books that came from my dreams, but more like the creative imagination was open and receiving. And so now that I'm, alone in my Zen den with a little bit of warm water, I'm just having that just to wake up and let my body sort of catch up to being in this space rather than the dreamscape. Um, I'm actually thinking a lot or creating a lot about this whole concept of the realm of hungry ghosts. And it does have this echo of, the idea, well, obviously, the idea, the notion of the hungry ghost. It also makes me think of Dr. Gabor Mate, who writes about addiction as being a hungry ghost. And so the whole concept of the hungry ghost is that it's always hungry and it can never be filled. And it's also, to me, here's my own take, because I haven't read a lot about hungry ghosts. And for me, this metaphor brings forth a lot of, I guess, I don't love the word notion. It brings forth a lot of characteristics, I suppose, or what this actually is to me. A definition sort of comes together according to what all of those things that hungry ghost could mean. So hunger is one of the things I've actually really wanted to write about for some time, and not just in the books, but also in like a excuse me, like an unpacking of what hunger actually is and why we get hungry physically, but it's always a reflection of what we think we need to survive, and that can create emotional responses or reactions. It can cause, there's a spiritual tie to all of it. It's like even the soul journey. What does that hunger for? Does the soul even hunger? Is it more that it wants to express rather than, you know, be like act according to hunger? Is hunger useful for us? Well, yeah, if it's on the survival level, 100%. And, do hunger and desire, are they one and the same, or is desire more of a passionate, movement toward a connection? And is hunger that pseudo aspect of desire? I'm just working through that as I speak, which is kind of cool. So, and you'll hear me talk a lot about pseudo. That idea came to me through Dr. Mark Gaffney, actually. And he talks about the pseudo, and I might be defining it a little bit differently than he does. But for me, it's the surface, it's the hungry ghost, it's what doesn't actually fulfill the actual need, perhaps. The word is not need. It doesn't fulfill the creative drive. It doesn't sustain. It doesn't nourish. It doesn't fill, and I don't mean fill up as in, stuff the container so that you don't feel hungry and then, use that up. The gas tank is gone, and then have to fill it up again and it's insatiable. It's like it's tapping into this never ending source of nourishment. It's a connection rather than hunger's just being, topping up the tank just for now. It's getting enough love just for now. It's getting enough sex just to make you feel, alive for just that moment. And then, or enough drugs or alcohol or, um, thoughts, right? This thought is going to keep me, feeling like I'm full because it's the same thought I had yesterday and the day before. So therefore, it makes me feel safe in this container. But we're still in a container. We're still it's not this endless open sky of what we could be and what we are. Not even what we could be. That's not even what I'm talking about. I shouldn't have said that. What we actually are. And so again, the I think desire can lead us to a connection point. It's like a natural force. I think those things are not negative. I think, agitation, I've been feeling a lot of agitation as of late. That's another thing. I'd like to actually do a recording about that. But so we've got this um, hungry ghost, and in the book, in book two, actually, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. You'll probably be able to deduce that as you read through book one, who might be there, who might end up in the haunted kingdom. And and it's in the realm of hungry ghosts, and there is this battle, with hungry ghosts that happen there, and a realization of this character and how the decisions thus far that have led to this emptiness of haunting and ghosts and the past, which is not rich with memory, but it's empty with regret and loss and questions, more questions than answers. There's no wisdom had from a life lived that becomes part of this realm of hungry ghosts, unless you seek the wisdom. And there's this transformation and all kinds of things that happen in these scenes. So and here's what I kind of woke up with this notion that, like, what does that mean? Like, it was just like a line, and it was like, it started off with, it fed the hungry ghost, not nourishing and keeping them wanting more. I'm going to say them because I don't want to say who this is. But then it was like, it's not just an it. It is like, it was food for the hungry ghost. So it was the thing itself that was actually feeding the hungry ghost. It wasn't like, how am I going to explain this? The purpose of it was to be food for the hungry ghost. It's not even that it was used as food for the hungry ghost. The purpose of that particular thought, notion, like belief, fed the hungry ghost. That was the purpose of it. And so, yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to go into how I reconcile that and how it becomes, what even happens. But I just wanted to unpack that a little bit about hunger and, the hungry ghost and how it controls the character and us. So you're all representative in these characters, or represented in these characters. And it controls them with their insatiable hunger. It's not ever satiated. It poisons with, like, echoes, of this emptiness, reminding, you are empty, you need to fill. And it can't. It's impossible. It's crazy making, because a ghost has no borders. It has no container. It's present wherever. It doesn't abide by the laws of the physical manifest, density of, like, where you can touch something. It's sort of there on the periphery. You feel it, like, you know, like a change in temperature, perhaps. You see it as an apparition. So it's there but not there at the same time. It's it's present but not anchored. It is so you can't do anything with it, apparently. And so yeah, and it's never full. It's never nourished. It's never satisfied. So what do they do? I'm really excited to be writing that piece.